Annual Business Breakfast. My name is Courtney Moe, and I am the Manager of Public Policy, Research, and Evaluation here at Momentum.
That's a lengthy title, Courtney. My name is Dapo, and I'm the Director of Morphe Systems Core, a storytelling business I started in 2016 after graduating from Momentum's programs.
Some of you may have met Dapo at the last in-person breakfast in 2019. Since then, his business has flourished, and he's one of the most active alumni here at Momentum.
Of course, I enjoyed the food so much, I agreed to come back.
Well, lucky for you, in true Momentum style, we are not going to let a virtual event stop us from exercising one of our most favorite values, enjoying food together. So, bon appetit to those of you who are indulging a few treats from your Be Local Business Breakfast box.
That's such a mouthful.
Well, delicious food warrants a descriptive name. This year, Momentum's community-focused business network, Be Local, partnered with 3 local companies, Good Trade Coffee Company, Devour Catering, and Lohi's Natural Honey to bring you these delicious treats this morning. So enjoy and feel free to say hello to some of these businesses in the chat this morning. They're here with us, or on social media if you like.
Regardless of what you're eating, and we're delighted to broadcast this event live from Momentum here, whether you're tuning in from your office or you're just getting out of bed. Your presence here demonstrates the unwavering spirit of generosity that Calgarians have shown over the years. The Momentum events are all about community. So we encourage you to use the chat a lot and fill in a poll, ask a question, share an idea, and maybe if you like, you can compliment my new suit.
That is a great suit, Dapo.
Thank you.
All right, let's get this chat rolling. Okay, what is your favorite local business in town? Enter it in the chat. For me personally these days, I really enjoy the Allium. It's a cooperative employee-owned restaurant here in town.
And I'm glad to see that people are actually shopping local.
Mm-hmm. So, Dapo, are you wearing slippers?
Yeah, see, I'm just trying to embrace the hybrid environment, you know?
Yeah, so in the spirit of pivoting, it's important to note that Momentum has made many shifts this past year, including moving to a hybrid work environment and embracing online programming. As a result, our reach has expanded and has allowed us to imagine Calgary's future. We imagine connected communities, abundant job opportunities for everyone, thriving local businesses. We imagine
vitality?
Exactly. What does this mean, this word vital? Well, the dictionary defines it as necessary, important, or essential for something to succeed or exist. For example, water is vital for the seed to germinate. It can also be used to underline the importance of certain body parts, like vital organs. Considering these definitions, perhaps it's most important to recognize that Momentum's work, and we acknowledge the land on which we reside. We are standing in front of this incredible mural painted by Keegan Starlight of Tsuut'ina Nation to demonstrate the values of respect and equality that are essential to Momentum's mission. Today we meet at Mohkinstsis, in the heart of traditional Blackfoot territory, including the Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani, and home to other nations of Treaty 7, including Tsuut'ina, Stoney Nakoda, and Métis Nation 3. Just down the hill from here is a confluence of 2 vital water sources, the Bow and Elbow rivers. Here is the proposed site of what is known as the Indigenous gathering place for Calgary, where countless generations of people have gathered to trade, to connect, to celebrate. Today, we're not gathering in person, but the rivers continue to flow, and remain vital in reminding us that we are all connected.
We would also like to acknowledge and thank our champions who have been vital in initiating the breakfast 18 years ago. Without them, we would all be eating breakfast alone. Can we give them a round of applause, please?
Also invited to this event is a group of community ambassadors who have stepped up and invited many new people to join us virtually. Thank you for believing in Momentum and for convincing your friends to add a bit more screen time to their day. Oopsies, thank you for being patient. I'm glad that we're all back. So our goal today is to share with those of you who don't know us what Momentum is all about. And for those of you who know us well, we want to highlight some of the incredible impact you've had in maintaining Momentum's vitality through thick and thin. Perhaps most vital to us are our program participants. They are vital to our communities, to our economy, and to our breakfast with you this morning.
And yes, I think it's time we made a few. We were lucky enough to chat with 6 participants who are in the middle of their 26-week self-employment program at Momentum. And get this, they had never met in person until today. Everything has been online. We met a week before their first ever business presentations. And let me tell you from my experience, the nerves are high at this point. Let's see what they have to say about what it's like to start a business.
I feel excited, very excited about this business. It's a family business to just enjoy churros, Mexican pastries.
The name is Alt Sausage, ODD. Sometimes I have to spell this because of my accent.
Michelle's Life Coaching Services.
Right words.
Calgary Family Law. Samantha Laycock Blogging.
Oh, I feel awful.
A little bit nervous.
Worry a little bit.
Yeah, I feel terrible.
Kind of wrapped in a ball.
One of the things is I'm new here in Canada.
I was born in Guyana, South America.
I didn't know anything about Canada.
It's more challenging because of the language or the culture.
I intend to disrupt how things are done. And I show up in sweaters and jeans and people are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, where's the big desk, the downtown law firm?
The most challenging part of this job is,
Fear that I have of failure.
Is this going to be profitable?
I guess, just believing in myself.
Is this going to be good? Do people going to like this?
I teach women how to share their stories through blogging. I actually started blogging in 2014 as a way to share my story. As soon as I hit the publish button, it was like this weight lifted.
When I'm in a creative zone, well, it feels great. It's very exciting.
I work with local meats. I know the name of the owners. I have a relationship with them. I really like to work not only with flavor, but also with texture.
The way I would want to help women is not for hookups, but more so to meet a life partner. That's the goal of my life coaching.
Well, I tried so hard for more than 1 year to get into this program.
It's great to have something to start, like Momentum, where we have, you know, the beginning, the setup.
And, you know, all the group work and exposure to all these other entrepreneurs has been so inspiring.
Truly, now I understand why they are teaching what they are teaching.
It's beneficial to also know that there's something that you can come back to. There's resources that you need.
For me, success is, it's more about the number of women I help.
Seeing that my work is in demand.
Being happy doing what you are doing.
Doing something that I love.
To have fun.
Having your family happy, maybe working with you in the business. For me, it could be my success doing that.
I'm always so impressed by the range of business ideas. So these entrepreneurs, these participants are with us here today. So ask them some questions in the chat, even some hard ones. So Dapo, what part of the participant experience do you relate to most?
I would say that was the entrepreneurial mindset series. Because for me, there are 2 kinds of people in the world, entrepreneurs and others. And the big difference between them that I learned from Momentum is in the mindset. So that really changed my life and the way I see things.
Interesting. Okay, so by now you know that Momentum supports new entrepreneurs, but I think we ought to bring in someone who can really speak to the breadth of our work. Jeff?
Oh, Jeff, you really do show up when we need you, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks, Dapo. It's great to see you and great to see everyone online today.
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of meeting Jeff Loomis is the executive director of Momentum, and he's been here for the past like 12 years. And I must tell you, he's got a lot to say about Momentum, probably more than you really want to know. But, you know, Jeff, let's just get right down to it. There are people online that know about Momentum. They've been here like 12 years. There are people who just getting wondering what's Momentum. So do you mind talking to them about what Momentum really does and in appropriate detail?
You bet, Dapo. So in a nutshell, especially for the new people, Momentum, we work to connect people primarily living on lower incomes to economic opportunities. And we do that in 3 key ways. So 1 is we work with people to get better jobs. 2, we work with people to start a business. And 3, we work with people to manage and save money. We really believe that to revitalize our local economy, it needs to have an opportunity for everyone to be able to access those opportunities. So let's start with savings, because we know we need savings to be able to get ahead. So for our savings work, we provide matched savings. And those work quite simply that as people are learning about money, they're able to earn a match to their savings, which works as a power boost to their savings. And we know that savings is so important. Even $500 in savings can result in not being evicted or avoiding a payday loan. And we know the programs work. Even after the program, people keep saving based on external evaluation. Oh my goodness, it's heavy. So an example is our Youth Fair Gains program. We've had 600 young people graduate from Youth Fair Gains, and most of them have gone on to use their savings for post-secondary education. And in our most recent Youth Fair Gains grad, which was just a few weeks ago, it was our largest yet. 26 grads that did the program entirely online, collectively saved over $13,000 in a 9-month period. I'm gonna get rid of this, this is heavy. Oh, hot dog, all right. Well, it looks delicious. So you met our self-employment group earlier. So we believe that everyone in Calgary should have the opportunity to pursue entrepreneurship. And we work with entrepreneurs to start a small business so they can earn more money for themselves or have a social impact in our community. When entrepreneurs come to Momentum, they learn to develop a business plan, they build their confidence, their entrepreneurial mindset, like Dapo referenced, they build their network, and ultimately, they can even learn how to sell sausages. So even some of our entrepreneurs can get a microloan for up to $10,000. And during COVID, we provided 11 microloans to help businesses pivot or stay operational. And those 11 loans created 22 jobs in our community and are all on schedule to be repaid starting now and into early 2022. So I'm gonna save this for later. Oh, and a hard hat, okay. So we have worked since our beginning to create meaningful jobs for people in our community. And for now, over almost 30 years, we have worked with people to move from unemployment or survival jobs into meaningful jobs in the trades, hence a hard hat. So our programs create that opportunity for people to pursue a career. We've even pivoted into tech training, which was good timing considering our massive shift in our digital world over the last few years. And our trades training and tech training programs have the best results we've seen since before the 2015 downturn. 85% of our grads are now employed in their field 3 months after graduating. So we've even made a seamless transition into new tech. Oh, Vanessa, thank you for saving the day on our virtual event and our second kind of tech hiccup today. Well, so much appreciated.
Practice makes perfect, Jeff.
So Vanessa is a graduate of our newest tech training program, Compass. And it's a program for youth to explore a career in the trades, or in tech, sorry.
Yeah, that's me. I really love that I got to try some 3D modeling because it opens up so many opportunities to explore, like film, animation, architecture, even stuff like medical prototyping.
So Vanessa, is the 3D modeling the only part of the tech training in Compass?
Well, you seem to know a lot about Momentum, Jeff, but how much do you know about the Compass program?
Well, you may be surprised. It is a new program.
Not to put you on the spot, but I think we'd all love to see how you do in a rapid fire quiz about Compass.
Okay, I'm ready. I gotta take the helmet off though, because my head's not working
All right.
properly. So, okay,
You
let's
ready?
go. Yeah.
All right. First question. How many students graduated from the inaugural Compass Tech Training Program?
Well, that's easy, Vanessa, because I was able to go to the grad this summer. 10.
Were you only there for the food? All right. Second question. As part of their training, Compass participants completed the Cisco IT Essentials training course. How many hours long is this beginner's program?
30,
No,
50,
higher.
70.
Okay, you got
Okay,
it. All right.
Third try.
I'm impressed. All right. Third question. What beginner-friendly programming language is often used with Raspberry Pi?
I don't know. I just would hope it tastes good.
Well, that language I speak of is called Python. And for your information, Raspberry Pi is a small pocket-sized computer.
Oh.
Yes. Fourth question. Last one. What is a DDR4?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Something related to R2D2.
Well, it stands for Double Data Rate 4, which is actually the fastest available kind of RAM on the market today.
This is very intimidating. I don't think I even know what RAM means, so I'm not doing well.
Well, it stands for Random Access Memory, and you would know that if you were at a tech program at Momentum. But that's okay. I'm sure if you apply early enough, you'll get in. Maybe.
Well, Vanessa, thank you for showing the breadth of your knowledge and the huge lack of mine and humbling me in front of everyone and showing how little I actually know about our tech training. So huge thank you for coming today.
Happy to help.
So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an overview of Momentum and our work with people to get better jobs, to start a business, and to manage and save their money. So now I'll turn it back over to Dapo and Courtney.
Oh, wow, Jeff. It looks like you have a lot to learn still. Okay, I guess it's time to turn the questioning over to the audience, if only to build back Jeff's self-esteem. So if there's two things that Momentumites love the most, it's stats and stories. So what would you say about a good old round of who wants to be a Momentumaire?
As long as you don't ask what part of the CPU the DDR4 is placed, I'll be fine.
I can promise you I won't. I do not know what either of those things mean.
Good.
Okay, so we have the very unique prize of handmade artisanal sausage made by Ezekiel of Odd Sausage, delivered right to the door by the man himself. So Ezekiel hasn't even finished the self-employment program and his business is already up and running. You might be wondering what makes a sausage odd. So according to Ezekiel, it's a unique combination of ingredients, texture, and sourcing of local meats. So let's see who gets to try some of this odd sausage. This is how it'll work. We'll ask you a question. You'll get 15 seconds to answer in the chat. And if you don't know the answer, just guess. We'll award the prize to the closest answer. Here we go.
So the first question is, what is the total dollar amount that was saved since Momentum launched the Savings Challenge in October 2020?
Time's up. The answer is over $250,000 in emergency funds were collectively saved in the challenge. So the winner's name is in the chat box. Congratulations. Check the chat so you know how to claim your prize.
Last question. Of the 12 graduates from our most recent Tech Plus program, how many received employment directly after graduation?
Okay, time's up again. The answer is 11 out of 12 graduates were employed in their field directly after graduating. Thank you to our partner, Longview Systems. So our speedy and analytical moderators have determined who the winner is, and your name is again in the chat. So congratulations, everyone.
So Yay, we are back. So we've shared a lot of stats, and now I think it's time to move on to a story. We've been talking about how revitalizing the local economy starts with empowering individuals. Our next guest, Jason, is a perfect example of how that's done.
So Jason owns a business called Father and Sons Power Equipment. And by the name, you might think it's a biological father and son business. And while this is certainly a family-run business, you'll soon see that Jason's son is a bit too young to be in the workforce. And so Jason has a lot of non-biological sons that he has hired and are part of this unique social enterprise in the northeast of Calgary. It's a bit tricky to explain, so see for yourself.
Father and Sons Power Equipment is we used to be a not-for-profit organization. Just recently we crossed over into the for-profit world to increase our impact, actually, by not losing our social impact, which is we train, hire, and develop youth with barriers to employment. So any kid that's on a path to recovery, we'll try and bring them in and we'll start developing them on the tools, that fixing small engine equipment. So they'll work with Ron or myself or on the front desk with Jaden, who himself was recovering, and they'll learn necessary traits and develop their character in order so that they can increase their impact in the community. So this is it. This is paradise. This is where the magic man Ron works. We decided to stuff Ron in the corner. Can you say hi? Yeah, you can say hi to Ron. Ron doesn't bite. Hi. So I'm always trying to find other like-minded organizations like Seasonal Impact or other people that we can work close with by repairing their equipment, efficiently and on time and all of that, but at the same time carry some of that social responsibility that we want to give back to our communities and things like that.
Yeah, one of the things we found from the first couple meetings with Jason is that we shared a lot of values with our how we deal with our people and who we have as our employees, where we want people to be better when they leave, no matter what they do, personally and professionally. So Jaden, who works for Jason up front, I didn't know Jaden before, but I know just from talking to Jason where he's come from and what he's done and the responsibility that he's now taken on here and who he is to Jason's business. It's pretty cool to see that transformation and hear about it. And to me, that's what it's about more than anything.
Trying to convince Jaden, like, have you considered your future? And one of the most chilling answers that he had back then was I don't see myself a part of it, or it's a future that you don't want to think that far ahead.
I needed some type of mentorship, some type of leadership, because I was just ready to throw my life away.
We can show these kids that the future is better with you because you have value and the future will be better because of you. Then that's the impact that we want to try and increase. That's the impact that we want to try and have. I started Father and Sons because the number one reason being I wanted to be around my own children, hence Father and Sons, right? So the whole idea and the principle there is the development of the family unit and then branching out from there. So, okay, how can I get involved with a program that provides positive, sustainable mentorship, that provides a healthy organization or healthy community involvement, a healthy work atmosphere, and is going to develop skills necessary for the future, for that person's development in the future, much like previous employees that have been here. That's social entrepreneurship. Yeah, so it was the accelerator program that we took. When Father and Sons was very young, we were out of my garage. Yeah, and that was what the accelerator program was specifically for, was these socially minded programs or organizations that are committed to, do you want to go somewhere else or is that good? Do you like that in the background? How do we increase our impact? How do we enlarge our impact? And is it possible? Is it even possible to do a social entrepreneurship, right? Which a lot of people will look at and say, no, it's not possible. You have to be about your bottom line. You have to be focused specifically on gross profits. And yes, you do, but there are ways that we can incorporate. And I think Momentum helped develop those missional purposes within our organization and within those that we were working with as well.
To me, it's a no-brainer. I think for so long we've gone away from like the small mom and pop kind of shops now. We get to know the people that are here. Everyone has a story. Everyone has, a reason for doing what they're doing, and that's what we're about too. So it's always interesting to get to know those people. It's not just kind of a big box experience. It's actually enjoyable to come here and talk to them.
Thank you for taking us on that tour, Jason. Looks like a lot of love is being sent your way in the chat.
Jason's business covers many aspects of Momentum's work, from trade to entrepreneurship to community impact. And in fact, there are a number of participant ambassadors like myself who have graduated from a variety of programs. Our next guest is someone who has recently spent a lot of time at Momentum.
Thanks, Dapo. There's so many success stories to share, but this next story is unforgettable. You're going to want to take a deep breath, sit comfortably, quietly, and with your full attention. Roderick graduated from savings and entrepreneurship programs here at Momentum. He received a micro business loan, which he repaid in record time, and his business has been flourishing since. I'll let him tell his story in his own words.
Good morning, Momentum staff, past donors, past graduates, and current participants. Thank you for this opportunity to share a bit of my journey with you. I would like to thank all the staff at Momentum and especially to all the donors. You know, without you, I wouldn't be full of joy and peace with my life. My name is Roderick Medina. I'm a graduate from Momentum Fair Gains program, the self-employment program, and got a microloan for my business this past year. I started a business called Design Culture that offers video, social media marketing, and graphic design services, mostly for real estate. Business in life has really been good for me lately, but it hasn't always been this way. I'm going to get straight to the point. I've struggled with PTSD majority of my life. I was introduced to hard drugs in grade 9. I joined Asian gangs in grade 10. Got kicked out of all 3 high schools that I attended. And I've gone to prison 3 times in my life. You could say I was a pretty tough guy, ruthless even. So how does this life like this start? My parents immigrated to Canada from the Philippines with 5 kids in 1975. I can really see what a huge challenge this must have been for them. I'm the youngest of 5 children, and my parents weren't around much at the time. My dad was holding down 2 jobs and my mom was working and going to school. I was a real energetic kid and had difficulty concentrating in school. So I was diagnosed as a slow learner in grade 7. I had a very low self-esteem because of this. I would do anything just to fit in with other kids. And I did start to fit in, but all for the wrong ways. In grade 9, I went to a friend's house for lunch and saw cocaine for the first time. He was selling it, and I agreed to hide a stash at my parents' house so that if my door got kicked down, the cops wouldn't go to his house. Then in grade 10, I joined a gang, the Devil Boys, was one of the most ruthless Vietnamese gangs in Calgary at the time. I'm not sure if I'd call them my friends, but I hung out with them for my protection. I didn't finish high school. Instead, I started to use and sell drugs regularly. I served time as a young offender and spent 2 stints in prison in provincial jail. Things got worse after that. At 19, my role model was my girlfriend's dad, a big dealer in Calgary. He has strong gang affiliations and links to organized crime. I got in deep. I worshiped things that had no value. Drugs, money, nightlife, ruthless and fearless I wanted to become, but all for the wrong business. I spent another 3 months in prison for breaking a bottle over someone's head. When I got out, I maintained that lifestyle. I became involved in trafficking large amounts of cocaine from Vancouver to Calgary. The people I trusted led me to believe we had to hunt down a guy who was stealing one of our clients. I wasn't prepared for what happened next, and it led to a stabbing with a warrant for my arrest, and I fled the country. I came back to Canada, and I really tried to clean up my life, but stories like this never end well. I needed money, and I only knew one way to get it. I began dealing with drugs on my own. Things hit rock bottom when I was pulled over by the police. I swallowed all the cocaine that was in my system and in my possession with intention of selling it in prison. I was brought into interrogation but the drugs started to take effect. I overdosed and I was rushed to the emergency. I remember being in 23-hour lockup to make sure I didn't have any more hidden drugs in my system. I was lucky to be alive, but I spent the next 2 years in prison. When I was on parole, the pattern of destruction repeated itself. I was fighting, I was hurting people, and I was hopeless. I didn't know what to do with my life and didn't feel like I had anything going for me. What could I do? What can I do with a criminal record? In 2005, 16 years ago, I tried to take my life. I felt hopeless when I woke up in the hospital. The thing is, I had made a name for myself and someone ruthless who didn't care. But why should I have cared when I was bullied for being the youngest out of 5 children, physically abused, sexually abused? I witnessed things children should have never seen. How do you process all this when the closest people to you are the ones inflicting this pain? What do you do? What do you say when you see them and they can't even look you in the eye? But you both know. Leaving that life wasn't easy, but I did it. And even though I left that life, I still had to deal with my PTSD struggle. I struggled with addiction, self-belief, and self-love and self-worth. In 2012, I found God, and He changed my heart and my perspective in life. It allowed me to think about the things in life I enjoyed, like graphic design and visual arts. I had an opportunity to work with a real estate company doing video tours for homes. I had no idea how to use high-end cameras, a gimbal, video editing software, so I taught myself watching YouTube videos. In summer of 2019, I got into a car accident and was hit from behind at a red light. While I was waiting to turn green. I couldn't work due to this accident. While getting treated by health professionals, a lady from my church group told me about Momentum. So I signed up for the self-employment and fair gains program, and I was accepted. I remember when Beth, who was assigned to me as a counselor, she spent the time to get to know me on a personal level. Thank you, Beth. Right then, I knew Momentum actually cared. I felt safe with them. For the first time, I learned how to put money aside to calculate monthly expenses and write invoices. Being financially secure restored my dignity, which is huge. I learned that I could actually earn money with my skills. Momentum encouraged me to write a letter to my sister to make amends after all these years, and now we finally have a relationship. So you can say Momentum left me with PTSD, but not that the PTSD you're all thinking about. Let me explain. P for patience, which Momentum conveyed. T for teamwork. They worked as a team to bring my business plan forth. Safe, I felt safe. S for safe, I felt safe with no judgment. D, dignity, which they restored after 41 years of self-doubt. Momentum didn't just change my life, they saved it. And I don't mean that lightly. So if you're a donor and don't believe that your help goes a long way, believe me when I say this. I could be dead, in prison, or back to my old ways. But because I have put all my momentum into my business, it restored my self-worth, my self-love, and a reason to keep going. It also restored my relationship with my family. I am forever grateful for Momentum and all the donors. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Roderick, thank you. We're grateful for you and your willingness to share with us this morning.
All right, we're back. So thank you, Roderick, for the amazing remarks. Your vulnerability is powerful and you're inspiring to all of us. Just this morning, Roderick told me that he's done videography for 100 homes since COVID started. So it's now my privilege to welcome Jim Gray into our new space this morning. Jim has an exceptional entrepreneurial spirit. He co-founded Canadian Hunter in 1973 with a borrowed office, some stationery, and 2 yellow Pinto cars as company cars. And the rest, as they say, is history. In 2017, Jim was recognized for his lifetime work in philanthropy. So we could have probably a whole breakfast about how amazing Jim is, but really he's a very important and good friend to Momentum and wholeheartedly believes and cares about our city. So over to you, Jim.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I've been involved in Momentum for well over 20 years. I believe in the work that Momentum does. And I've lived in Calgary for a long, long time. And I believe in this city. I'm proud of Calgary. I'm proud of its resilience. And I've lived through its ups and downs. But I'm particularly in care for the way we care for each other and the vision that we always have for a better tomorrow. I choose to give back because I see the potential in Calgary in every sector, and I have confidence in my city. Now, last year, Momentum focused on recovering from the incredible toll that the pandemic had on our communities, socially, economically, and emotionally. The $175,000 that was raised in the last virtual business breakfast went directly to the programs that you heard about today. The tech graduates that got work directly after their programs. The new entrepreneurs that started successful business, new businesses during the pandemic, and the amount of money that people are saving during the pandemic. These are all indications of the success of Momentum and the key role it is playing in the economic recovery. That's why this year Momentum is focusing on the future. We're asking you to join us in revitalizing our local economy. That means empowering people to save so that they can transfer their lives, just like Roderick's story that we just heard. It means empowering people to find meaningful employment so that they have financial security and a rewarding job. And it also means empowering, having financial security. And it also means empowering entrepreneurs so that they can build sustainable livelihoods for their family and make real social positive impacts on Calgary, just like Jason's story. So contributing to Momentum is not a donation. Contributing to Momentum is an investment in our rich future. Thanks.
So our goal today is to raise $150,000. And Jim feels so strongly about our work that he, along with some other close supporters of Momentum, Ross and Susan Douglas, and Michael and Donna Kanofsky, have generously contributed a special incentive for all of you today. Every gift made towards our goal of $150,000 will be matched dollar for dollar. So please give generously and double your dollars as we work towards this goal. Just like small savings can lead to big goals, remember that every gift counts. Big or small, they can all get doubled. So the investments you make through the business breakfast can go a long way ensuring that we're responsive and relevant into the future. So thank you, Jim, and to Ross and Susan and Michael and Donna for that extra boost this morning.
So folks, this is Momentum's only fundraising event of the year. This breakfast is about fundraising and renewing contacts as much as it is about fundraising. Momentum makes a very, very strong effort to build and maintain relationships, which is why many of us have been around Momentum for so many years. We have a few minutes, you have a few minutes now to make your donation. So follow the link in the chat, put out your phones and go to the momentum.org and click the donate button on the top right. Thank you all for being here, and remember, Momentum is a very special organization doing important programs in our community. So we thank you greatly for being with us today.
Well, thank you, Jim, for being such an amazing community champion for us for so many years. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and for your generous support. Thank you for your patience this morning as we went through some tech challenges that, you know, we practiced lots and we still have tech challenges. So a huge thank you to everyone for joining. And thank you, Dapo and Courtney, for being amazing hosts this morning and working through those tech challenges. So much appreciated, especially Dapo as an amazing entrepreneur and alumni. So I'll turn it back over to you to close.
Thank you to every person who believes in Momentum and for supporting us today. We're going to leave the chat open for some time. You have lots of time to donate or to connect in the chat. And you have lots of time to check out all the local businesses that were introduced to you today. Thank you so, so much. And Dapo, I think it's time to say goodbye.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, the time has come. And thank you all for giving us your time, your attention, and your generosity.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We know you've heard a lot about the power of one. If you have a friend or two, you can get exponentially more done. When we collaborate, it might not be good math, but wait and see. We're more than just the sum of parts, 'cause you'll find that 1 and 1 makes 3. Come bring your skills and assets to our doors. With partnership, we'll build up so much more. We're not just here to serve, come join the team. 'Cause there's no I in Momentum, but there's a you and me. It's compassion and action, it's a way to help each other over the wall. It's when we band together to the mutual benefit of all. It's based on trust and true respect and shared accountability. Our common effort makes things better for the whole community. Come bring your skills and assets to our doors. With partnership, we'll build up so much more. We're not just here to serve, come join the team. 'Cause there's no I in Momentum, but there's a you and me. 10 years together, beating poverty.